Welcome to week 14 of 20 for 20. This week I'm going to go straight into the topic because it's a big one. And it's one that if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you probably should just turn it off. But I encourage you, hang in there. We are talking about the de-weaponization of sex. I know, I said it. Using sex as a weapon in your marriage is a real life thing. I've been married for more than 20 years, and I know there have been times that I have hurt Tim deeply by weaponizing sex. And I believe that the Bible gives us some pretty great foundational work here to start with. And so let's read it. We're going to start off in 1 Corinthians 7, and it says, the wife, well, actually, let me back up. It's 1 Corinthians 7:3, and the husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but yields it to her husband. In the same way, hear that, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yields it to his wife. Do not deprive each other, except for perhaps by mutual consent for a time, so that you may devote yourself to prayer. Then come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Few things here, guys. It's almost like Paul was talking with our Creator. It's almost like God knows us, right? He knows that sex is amazing, right? And we could so easily weaponize it. And we do, even without thinking, we do it. But sex was created by God to be a gift. He created our bodies, think about it, without being too creepy or weird, because it's just not my intention, but it could be weird, is He created our bodies to literally lock together, to fit together, right? The act of sex is so intimate and so vulnerable. There is nothing on this planet that compares to being butt naked with another person and your body physically fitting together, right? So, like I said, without being too creepy or weird, gosh, you guys, sex is a gift. And for way too long, Satan has been allowed to rob us and rob our marriages and use it as a weapon of total destruction. So in the scripture here, it says that we are not to deprive each other except perhaps by mutual consent for a time. There are certain times over your story, over your marriage, that you physically may not be able to have sex, emotionally may not be able to. I have given birth to 7 babies. And so in our over almost 21 years of marriage, there's been 7 different times that I could pinpoint that it was physically not a good idea to have sex. I physically pushed a baby out. And so during those times, Tim has had enormous grace with me. That a healing process is taking place in my body, and he's loved me, and we've needed to connect during that time. And oh my gosh, can I tell you that he did not want to have sex? It's not that he didn't want to have sex with me during that time, but it's because he loved me, that he knew that we needed to wait. So with that said, there was a mutual understanding that right now is probably not the best time. Now, did we get on our clocks and, look at our calendars, pull out our planners and say, okay, Margaret was born on this day, and so by this day, Nicole, I need you to have sex with me. It wasn't like that. It was just a conversation like, hey, how are you feeling? And knowing each other and being intimately connected to know when the next time was going to be. But the way that Satan is so clever is he uses sex and dangles it in front of our face and is like, you're pissed at your husband? No, he is not getting it tonight. You know what? He's actually going to sleep on the couch. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, but we get caught up in this weaponization of sex, right? We use it to control and manipulate and even get sometimes illicit behavior that we want from our spouse. And I want to just say as a wife, no more, guys. It's not okay for us to use sex as punishment. Likewise, husbands, it's not okay to withhold your affection or withhold your love and your touch. Your touch is incredible. Your touch to your wife is pure gold, just the same way that sex is pure gold to you. When you withhold it, you are weaponizing your affection and your touch and sex. It is not what we're supposed to be doing. So, if emotionally and physically we're not in a place where we could sexually come together, it needs to be clearly communicated to our spouse. Did you hear me? Clearly communicated to our spouse. Because when we get locked up in the, well, he hasn't even asked for it for a month, and so I just, and he's not asking for it, so I'm not gonna just volunteer it. No. Do you know that our husbands, wives, if you're listening to me, please, I want, lean in close. Your husband wants to hear what you want in bed. He needs to hear that. He loves when you say, yeah, that totally, what you just did, awesome. Do that again. He wants to hear you communicate to him that you want him, that you think he's freaking fabulous in bed. Even if he's not freaking fabulous in every single way, he wants to hear the ways that are making you come alive in the bedroom. Communicate those to him. He wants to hear it. Don't weaponize sex. If he did not help you in the kitchen, don't punish him with sex later, because that is a gift. It's a gift that God gave your marriage, and if you're abusing it, it is the greatest source of pain, right? Huge source of pain. So move from here on out, you guys. I want us to rethink of sex in a way that, how can I gift my spouse with my whole body, with my whole self? Because this is what God created it for. He created us to interlock, to be intimate, to be vulnerable. And the moment I weaponize it is the moment I'm losing, the moment I begin to lose my spouse. So frequency is important. If you have gone months, even weeks on end without having sex and haven't communicated to your spouse why, we are biblically not doing something right. So come together. If sex is a hard conversation for you to have, which I know this, oh my gosh, for years, sex was always a tender spot for us to talk about it. Can I encourage you to reach out to people even like myself, that sex is not a weird topic anymore. Let's talk about it. Talk about it in a way that's healthy and God honoring. But I promise, if you're going months or even long periods of time without sex and it hasn't been mutually agreed upon, you're weaponizing your sex life. You're making it a weapon to wound and hurt in ways. So right now, declare to de-weaponize sex. Make it a gift. Invest in your spouse sexually. Offer it as a gift. Women, offer your body as a gift. It's good. Husbands, give your touch and your affection because you love her and you adore her. And physically, remember, we're not weird about this, come together. Interlock, lay naked, cuddle up. I promise that communication that you've been lacking comes together. Talk about that really difficult conversation naked. Talk about it naked. Be vulnerable naked and say, nothing will get your husband going if you say, I really need your help in the kitchen, like laying next to him butt naked. There's something about it that helps him do dishes. Just saying. It's not a manipulative thing. It's just a physiological, hey, we're gifts to each other. We're not going to use this as a weapon. You guys, enjoy this week. Enjoy each other. Enjoy your spouse's body. And have a fantastic time using the gift that God gave you to really move forward your marriage.